Lazor.
You have a prepaid call from
Free. It's 31st.
an inmate at the Salinas Valley State Prison, Soledad, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello?
Hey, Free, they cut us off last time with mystery digits. I won't play that again. I think that was my fault.
What was that? What do you mean play that? What were you doing? I don't...
You remember I played you that song, and I was concerned that it had a digit in it. You know, if you play like a digit from a phone, it thinks we're doing a conference call or something. I think it might have triggered hanging up.
I don't think it did trigger it. The reason why is because when that's triggered, it's immediate. And if I recall correctly, you had already done that, and we were talking after that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. It didn't happen immediately. I just assumed there was a delay. But if it's immediate, then it wasn't me.
And also, it's been happening with increasing frequency lately on various calls of mine to people when we're just talking, just like you and I are talking right now.
Okay.
And I know for a fact that we never said anything that was a word that they may have, as a designated word that triggers that. It was just normal talking, and it's happened probably. It used to happen about twice a year, and now it's happening about once every 8 calls or so that I make. So there's something going wrong with Global Telling. There should be complaints put in on it because they don't pay any attention to ours. But if you guys call Global Telling and complain about it, it will have some effect because Prison Legal News organization, I forgot their parent company now. I forgot what the name of it is. I'm trying to remember it, but I don't remember. But anyway, they have lawsuits against GTL for a number of different things, and this is one of the things they want to know about. I'll write them eventually about it. I can't make it a priority right now, but I'll write them when I can about it. Whenever I get a chance to read one of their newspapers that are so backed up with me, I haven't read any of them for months. But when I see their ad about it, it'll remind me, and I'll just write a quick letter to them. But if you guys out there also complain, it helps.
Okay. Well, it's not unusual for me to talk to Global Tel, so I can certainly bring it up and complain about it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I wanted to mention. Hold on just a second. Are you signed up right now? Because I'm signed up on that one. Manny, I'm signed up there. You want to go ahead and take it? Yeah, because I'm signed up there right now until 7:45. All right. So, anyway, I was trying to say I have received a laudatory, very favorable chrono.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
A report from a guard, sort of, that's actually 2 levels above your regular guard at lieutenant level.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention his name. It's so good that alone could get the parole board to grant me a hearing really soon as opposed to 4.5 years from now.
Wow.
So I'm waiting on the warden. The warden told me she would write something similar. This was several weeks ago, she told me. I sent her a reminder letter the other day. So I'm hoping when she gets settled back in after the new year that she will write that pretty soon. And as soon as I get that, I'm not going to wait for any more, even though I've been promised about 6 or 8 more by different, they're employees or volunteers. And I've got about 12 good ones now. 2 of them are really spectacular, like the one I just mentioned. If I get the one from the warden, it's worth waiting another week or 2 for. If I don't get that from her within about 2 weeks, I'm going to go ahead without it because I'm not going to wait any longer than that on putting in my request for this. Anyway, I will eventually. It's hard for me to get copies of things here. I will get a copy as soon as I can, and when I do, I will send it to you. If you want to put it out there, you can. But I want to have his name redacted. Although I'll send it to you without it redacted, so you can see it. But I'll explain.
Okay.
When I send it to you, I'll explain exactly because I don't want it to become something that feedback comes back to them from out there saying, "Oh, your name's on here. What are you doing? Giving support to this guy for?"
Yeah.
And have it, create problems. So I don't have his permission to put it out there. So, you know, I'm sure he wouldn't mind as long as I redact the name and such, and I will do the same thing if I get the warden's letter and put it out there probably. But we can just say it's a very high-ranking person at lieutenant level.
Okay. No, that sounds great, and this sounds like wonderful news. I mean, I was wondering how your spirit is, because I know that Governor Brown, I'm told, is going to be exiting office here in a few days, and it's not likely he's going to be issuing any more pardons. So I was kind of disappointed that you were not included in the governor's pardon. So I thought maybe you might be a little bit down in spirits, but it sounds like you're hopeful, and that this new thing could result in you getting your freedom, which is ultimately an answer to prayer and a miracle.
Yeah, indeed. I don't think I get down in spirits hardly about anything anymore. Well, I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe when it's, on the day of a parole denial or something like that, but I bounce back fairly quick. But, yeah, this is not, I mean, I was hopeful and, having faith that maybe this would work, and maybe it still will. I mean, maybe there's some things days after he's gone, because he's gone now. I mean, we've got a few hours left of this year, and on the first of the year, as I understand it, which means a few hours from now, he's officially out of that office position. So I'm assuming he's taken some kind of vacation today as it is, probably for the last few days, and that he left as of days ago. Whether or not something could still come down the pike with grants of those pardons, we've not heard about yet. Or one of the things he does is he actually refers them to the parole board, which is not good for me, because parole board has not been my friend, as you know. But that would be to blank, because that would mean they'd have to hold a hearing, and in that hearing I might get granted relief. So, there's still that possibility, I suppose, although it's real slim and thin. But, I bounce back pretty well, and I'll continue to put in pardon applications. I've got another one sitting in my cell right now that's done, that has letters, and, for example, this chrono that I just mentioned, this laudatory report, that will go in the next pardon petition. I'll just send it on to the new governor. I mean, it's not likely he's going to be granting a bunch of pardons or commutations to anybody when he's new in office. A lot of them wait till near the end, like Brown did, to do very many of them. But you never know. It's worth putting in at any time, because there's nothing says I can't put in another one whenever I feel like it later down the road, if I don't get a response or favorable response on the one I put in now.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I'm a lot more hopeful about the parole board granting me something rather than the governor. I think the chances are actually a lot better, even in spite of Governor Brown's recent record of so many commutations. I also think that if that doesn't work, that maybe something in the courts will, and that's backed up behind the other parole stuff, is court stuff. So I'm going directly to the parole board next with these laudatory reports, and then after that, without waiting, the next thing I can get done, I'll be challenging the parole board denial back November, a year and a month ago. And then after that, I'll be going to the court with that and with some other things in the court. So it's just time. I've got so much time deficit, that's all. If I had 1,000 hours in a day, I'd have those things done.
Right.
If I had 1,000 hours done in a day, if I had 1,000 hours in a day or 500 hours in a day a year ago, I'd have those things done on that day. But, it's just not enough hours in each day. So, and I'm thankful I'm not one of those people that are bored stiff and want their time to be all used up like now, wish their 10 years, 20 years, 30 years would just be gone in a poof of smoke right now. I'm thankful I'm not one of them, because to me that's just wanting death, and I definitely have never wanted that. Yeah.
No, I understand. I was looking at your arrest date, because that is one of the dates we put under your photo on the website, and it was January the 10th. So, It'll be an anniversary of sorts, I guess a year. 36 years. My goodness. 17.
That'll be 36 years done, I think, and that begins the 37th year the next day, if I got my calculation right. I think that's right.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Is it?
Well, it's January 10th, 1983.
So I'm I'm near the end of my 36th year right now.
Yeah.
Which will be full in a few days.
My goodness.
One of my family members' birthdays had that happen on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just I didn't even match that up at first, for a while after it happened, and then one day I was talking to her on the phone about it and mentioned that, that was on her birthday. So, not a very good birthday present for her or anybody else.
Yeah. Well, I hope God has a plan to get you out of there very soon, and we can't wait to see what the testimony that you'll have once you've got one heck of a testimony, Free, when you get out of prison. I mean, it's just there's very few people that's got a testimony for Jesus like you do.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Let me tell you how this goes in terms of parole as opposed to getting court relief. Like if I got exonerated and cut loose in the court, I just leave and go home. But the way it goes with the parole board, unfortunately, is they grant you, you're still in, I'm in 3 different prisons right now, prison within a prison within a prison. And where I'll be in 2 different prisons, which will be, one will be a halfway house and one will be the parole board when they finally grant me release. So they make you go to these halfway house transition houses for up to a half a year, which is just, it'll be really hard on me. It'll be like, I'm just still in prison.
Yeah.
All these other guys, they like it, they want it, they need it. They're afraid of society. They're afraid of, even guys been here 10 years, they don't know how to handle being out there. I'm just the opposite. So, it'll be another prison within a prison, and then when I get out of there, then on parole, you're still in prison. You're still under the custody of CDC for about 5 years. Which
Wow.
have all kind of restrictions. So I'll cut from 3 prisons down to 2, but you can bet this, that during my time out there, even in a halfway house, I'll be so active with trying to get my exoneration that I may get that monkey off my back way before anywhere near 5 years expires. Hopefully within the first couple of years out there, I'll get exonerated.
Amen.
They've had my hands tied in here. It's the only reason I haven't been able to do it in here.
Yeah, I completely understand. One of the things that really resonated with me that you once said previously was, the most powerful people in regards to the life of a prisoner is not the governor, is not it's not the Bureau of Prison Director, it's the guard or the local warden. I mean, it's the people or the parole board officer, right? I forget how you worded it, but it's like the local people that you deal with every day. They can severely impact your life.
In my case, and everybody's case is not like this, but I'm not the only one. But primarily in my case, it's the prison guard that has more power than the governor, than the president of the United States, more power than all of the Supreme Court justices put together, and all of the judges throughout the entire United States, state and federal. Every single one of them combined has less power than a CDC prison guard to keep me in prison, because none of them can extend my sentence without taking me to court, going through judicial process, whereas a prison guard here in California can just write on a piece of paper that I violated a petty little rule when I didn't, and they know I didn't, and that extends my sentence perpetually for the rest of my natural life in prison. That's what's already happened, as crazy as that is. It's 26 extra years.
Yeah.
So they could keep doing that for another 26 and another 26 and another 26 until I die in here.
That is so profound, and that is so profound, man.
Yeah, it is. It is, and this is what everybody needs to hear out there. The whole world needs to hear this, and we need voices all put together, like millions of them crying out about that insanity.
Yeah.
But, that I haven't been able to get a voice out there yet. But in any case, shoot, I forgot the last thing I was going to say. We may have to wind up here pretty quick. Somebody's phone time real quick.
Okay.
2 minutes? All right. I got 2 minutes.
Okay.
Phone time. I'm respectful to all these guys, whereas the guys that are on before me, it's not even their sign-up time, and they won't get off the phone without either violence or having to go to the cops to get them off. It's
right.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to wish. I assume Erin might be there.
Yeah, she's here.
Happy New Year!
We hear the firecrackers right outside our house. There's people popping firecrackers.
I'm doing laundry.
Okay. All right, great.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and I bid you guys both a really excellent 2019, a prosperous one, and I intend to see you in person this year.
Wow.
Good. I hope so.
I hope so, Free. We're looking forward to that. A steak dinner's on us.
All right. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll take you up on that. All right.
All right.
So anyway, blessings to you. Yahweh's blessings to you. And And thank you so much for being there for me, for everything you do for me, and I'll be in touch before too long. Won't be till next year, though.
All right. Well, we love you, Free, and we're looking forward to the day we get to meet you outside of prison. And, you know, you got a lot of people that care about you and are praying for you.
Good night. God bless you.
All right. Well, bless you and thank you. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Look at his zip code.